gosh, we're gonna go outside together, friends, because it is noisy in my house. My housekeeper's helping me with a spring clean. I'm also in the process of refreshing my outdoor space. If you know, you know. And I just looked at the footage and it is out of focus again. I did everything to focus that camera and it just like went out of focus. I don't know what the deal is because that camera has filmed every single YouTube video you've ever seen of mine. So I don't know why. It maybe it just needs to be upgraded. I'm sure it does, but you know, we use what we have. So all that to say, guys, just listen to this as a podcast, I guess, although I'm sure producer Tanya is going to do her darndest to make it look beautiful. But I guess God is giving me an opportunity to practice what I preach and just let it be imperfect, just like I'm imperfect and you're imperfect and only God is perfect. So for those of us who are recovering perfectionists or type awesomes, you know, we just gotta get the reps in and go onward to the miracle. So with that, I hope that this was life-giving. I love you guys. We're gonna build something awesome. So if you're ready to put a hot pink dent in the side of this world for the kingdom of God, saddle up. The new era has begun. Paper Glam family, and welcome to this cozy life update / what's next for Paper and Glam video. If you are new to Paper and Glam, I'm Lisa Marie, and my mission is to help 888 women a year transform into the women God created them to be, because no woman should feel stuck in life, should be stuck in life, should be chronically stuck in an area of life, and we've all been there. Whether you're chronically stuck in your financial life, you're chronically single, you are, struggling with chronic health issues, whatever it is. Been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, the bumper sticker, and the sweatshirt. And my calling is to create the motivation, the inspiration, and the community for us to come together, collapse time, learn together, and to get unstuck together. We talk a lot about how good things will always be opposed in this life. Like right now, this is the second time I filmed this video. It is actually 9 a.m. and I'm going to be keeping an eye on the time because I have to leave for work at 10. So I filmed this during the week in a civilized fashion. And then I looked at the footage and it was all out of focus. And I was like, you are joking. I filmed for an hour and it is all out of focus. And I was like, all right, well, I guess God wanted me to get another rep in on this video. So that's what it is. The only other time I had to film was, would have been like Sunday, and the Sabbath is totally non-negotiable. So here I am filming this again, a little bit sweaty because I've been running around this morning, and Sunday is barking in agreement. She's going to get kenneled up here if she doesn't get with the program too. But anyway, the enemy always wants us to wait for perfect circumstances to get things done because he knows we're never going to have perfect circumstances, right? So, this is just like what it is. It's like never going to be the best situation unless we create it, right? Like one imperfect day at a time. On the You Better Work stickers, these are for my OGs, there used to be a sticker that said, not much work gets done if you only work when you feel like it. And that is like the truest thing. So once we get in alignment with what God has called us to do, right? First we need to make sure God has called us to it. Otherwise we're going to be spinning our tires. And after that, it's like, okay, we need to get into the mindset, into the community that can help us to shine, that can help us to grow. So all that to say, we've been doing this for a long time together. I have been making content around seasonal living, reading, Bible study, and planning since 2008, actually. So super OG. And I took about like 4 or 5 years off from building my business to really nail my personal life and to grow and heal in the ways that God was calling me to. And I've always been very strong in business. My mom is an entrepreneur. I am working for her on Mondays and Fridays right now to help her build a team and to yeah, just get her business growing. Her business is booming and mine's a little slow right now. And, that's what happens when you don't show up and remind people how you served for 5 years. So that's okay. Pride will lead you straight to poverty if you are not careful. So had to get humble and work for my mom until I get this business on and rolling again. And I'm not that it's not on and rolling. It's been on and rolling, but I made some major investments in the business. I hired a professional producer to help me get content out to you. I'm working on creating consistently across the 4 pillars of Paper and Glam. So that's planning, showing up here on YouTube, and then for the members community, book club, Bible study, and seasonal living. So while we're talking about the Paper and Glam experience, or the Clubhouse, which is the membership experience, this is the last day to join individual pillars of the Paper and Glam experience forever. After this, it's going to be full investment only. So today is a last call video. Jump into Bible study, jump into book club. The enemy wants to tell us that, we don't have time, or we don't have money, or we have to go it alone, because he knows we need each other to transform. The word says iron sharpens iron. And if we don't have someone in our life who is that iron, we're going to stay stuck. So it is my prayer and my calling to be that iron and to introduce you to other women who can be that iron for you. We have women in every season of life, from single in late 20s to in late 60s with grandkids. And we are all committed to becoming who God called us to be by being in the Word, by cultivating the power of story in book club, and through living seasonally, through walking through this framework that God gave us for growth, which is the seasons, of our year. They inform and instruct us. And of course, we do all the fun stuff, like all the home tours, and I'm going to film the Easter home tour tomorrow, and I'm so excited about that. So I do a monthly home tour and vlogs. I'm working on April diaries right now, and all the stuff that you, if you've been with me, then you've seen here on this channel. And then also talk about how we're growing each month, celebrating the wins, figuring out like what our mindset is going to be so that we can get to that next level of the video game that we're all working on progressing towards. So all that to say, that's who I am and what I do. And I might be very over caffeinated today. The last video I filmed where I was wired and tired, I still have yet to post it. But yeah, anyway. All right. So I'm just looking at my phone because there's just like so much I want to tell you guys, and I have about 35 minutes. So let's get to it. So, all that to say, Paper and Glam is my journey and our collective journey of bringing up everything God gave us together, right? So there's this like old school saying in weightlifting that I think a lot about, which is everyone wants big muscles, but no one wants to lift heavy things. And I think about that in terms of building a big life. If you are watching this, then you are probably a woman who wants a big life. And that might mean something different. I know that means something a little different to you than to your neighbor, than to me, but a big life either way. Maybe it's like a big family or a big business, a big online platform. Maybe it's like a homesteading life, a big farm in the country. Those are all the things I want. I also, want to publish books, and I have all these ideas for product lines I want to do that I've been talking about for years. And, but if we want that big life, however you define it, it's like we have to get to work lifting some heavy things. The enemy wants to keep us comfortable, because if we're comfortable, we're not growing, right? We're not sharpening. And if we want to do more, even if that is just work out every day and read our Bible every day, great place to start, right? Even if you're working on nailing that, which I certainly am, who isn't, you still have to work on expanding your capacity, right? Like if we want to hold more, if we're asking God for more, we're asking him to stretch us. We're asking him to expand our capacity. He's like, oh, cool. Like you want to hold more? Great. Time to get into the spiritual gym. And Paper and Glam is the spiritual gym. One thing that I noticed is whether you're like in we're in the old school blogging space like I was, or the old school YouTube space, which I was, or the current YouTube space, which I am, or Instagram, whatever. There's lots of coaches and programs and support for individual areas of life, right? There's tons of people who specialize in health, tons of people who specialize in, your home life or parenting or marriage, but there isn't anything that I've seen for bringing up every area of your life together. There's this word in the Bible that you've probably heard, this Hebrew word shalom, which is often translated as peace or the peace of God. But I would say a better translation is the wholeness of God. So this is about living holistically. The enemy wants us to live in such a way that, we're on this journey of life, and maybe like our work life is here, but our home life is here, and our money is here, and our health is here, and our creativity is here, but then maybe our community is here, right? And so we have these, most of us, if you're watching this, like, you might have a blessed American life by all standards, but we're living in a way where you're like constantly bumping your head because like life is going like this, right? Because we're not taking the time to bring all the areas of life up together. So I just took, I guess what you could call a YouTube sabbatical. I think I made like 5 videos in 5 years or something like that. And was just making content for the membership community about this journey to live holistically and what it looks like to bring up every area of life together. So spent a lot of time, on my personal life, on my love life, in figuring out my health. And I feel better than I've ever felt in my entire life, better than I felt in high school, better than I even knew it was possible to feel right now. I'm still working on releasing the extra weight because the body doesn't hold on to weight for no reason. And the reason isn't usually like, oh, yes, we all probably need to move more and eat cleaner, but you can always do that. But it's like, okay, there's an underlying reason of like why we're not moving, right? Why we're eating the way that we are. So we need to clean that up, but like in a strategic way. Otherwise, we're just like going to be running as fast as we can, burning ourselves out, depleting our bodies of nutrients. Been there, done that. So right now I'm in this process of figuring out like, okay, like how do I live in a way so that I can effortlessly release weight? How do I live in a way so that I can effortlessly build my business? How do I live in a way that I can be in a thriving relationship that is the foundation for a marriage, ultimately a marriage that's the foundation for a family, et cetera, et cetera. So, that's like what my commitment is. That's where I'm at. And we can just like do the life update part. Like right now, as far as my love life goes, I am in a new relationship, we're figuring out if that is going to be if marriage is the purpose for why we were brought together, if it is that firm foundation for a marriage. Health, like I just did health, work. So like, let's talk about all things paper and glam. Like I am here to call you guys into a new adventure. It's actually the same adventure with a little bit of a different spin. So if you are brand new, let's talk about like a little bit of the origin story of how we got to here. So like I said, I originally started OG blogging in the pre-YouTube world. You guys, I'm pushing 40 here. I'm going to be 39 in June. So have been at this a hot minute and then started YouTube in 2013. I never was quite successful in the way that I wanted to be in blogging, of course. I was very young and I had a following, but not enough to get like the ad revenue and that I wanted. So I was like, gosh, I know I'm talented. I know I have a voice, but it's just not popping. And then like uploaded my second YouTube video and we were off at the races. So I was like, amazing. That's when a lot of you met me in my Denver era. Most of you right now will be super OG, as I call it, which is original glam, from the Denver era or from the LA era. So was in Denver working in tech during the day, building my business nights and weekends. I was also working on planting a church in Denver with my pastors, of course. So been working in ministry as well since 2010 in some capacity, always been working in ministry. And so had a lot of irons in the fire, and I would just show up and share how I was using my planner, how it was helping me to become the woman I wanted to be. That was right before the planning space blew up, and I made my first planner in 2012 too, because I couldn't find what I wanted on the market. And yeah, then my business started growing. I felt called to move to LA to build out my product line. And this is like a crazy story, but it's all in the YouTube footage too. But I got my dream apartment in LA, and my mom at the time also lived in LA. So she moved, or excuse me, she lived like a mile away. And so every day I would drive from my house to her house, and we would have dinner together when I first moved to LA. And I like one day just felt led. It was MLK Day 2016. I could not figure out how to get my products made in the way that I wanted to do it, which was like in the US. I wanted everything designed and produced in the US. Couldn't figure out how I was going to do that financially or even physically, because I always wanted it to be like a luxury product, right? Like the very best design, the very best paper, the very best color, everything. And so I couldn't figure out how to get it done. One day the Lord just tells me to pull into this place. I didn't even really know what it was. At the time, I didn't have a sign, I don't think. And ended up meeting someone who became my production manager. And because he owned the production space, we designed the system together. Hi, Lehman. I owe so much to you. Anyway, so we started collaborating on the product line. And then at that point, I quit my tech job, and we released a monthly planner collection every single month for 5 years. Wholly original, seasonal, beautiful. You can see it, shop.paperandglam.com. Yes, we are bringing it back. Yes, I am working on it. But, oh, I'm like tearing up a little bit, you guys, telling the story. Such is life. Anyway, yes, that is what we are here to do, many things together. Because my passion is not just stickers and planners, right? It's also like, what are we writing in the planner, right? How are we building our lives together? The stickers and the planners, in a lot of ways, that is just the icing. And don't get me wrong, I cannot live without a planner. I have way too much going on. If you're watching this, you probably have way too much going on too, to not have a planner. My brain would literally explode without a planner. Not only that, but I just wouldn't have the same capacity to also build every area of life. Like, it's important to me to have a thriving literary lifestyle. It's important to me to have a thriving relationship with the Lord. It's important to me to have beautiful friendships. I also host a hiking group called Napa Valley Hikers. I started a year ago that is up to 600 members now, and we hike on Saturdays. I also have a business mastermind that I'm in every other Saturday. So it's like juggling that, and like I don't know how you do all the things you want to do without being really strategic and getting into a planner and doing that in community, because there's a lot of days when you don't feel like doing something, but if you have the support of the community around you, you can do the impossible, because that's how God designed it. So back to the origin story. And then through a crazy circumstance that could be a whole nother video, I suddenly moved home to Napa and God moved me home, and I was like, okay, stood up a new team, was like, great, business as usual. It'll just be from Napa, which is where I live now. I live in my hometown of Napa. And that same week was when the COVID lockdown started, and my business was now non-essential and everything was made in LA. So I was like, oh my gosh. So then I started building the content side of my business. I'd actually started that I launched the first membership piece, which was my book club membership piece, in November of 2019. So I kind of was already on the path. God had me one step ahead. God always has me one step ahead, because he is the Lord and his ways are higher. And so started building out the membership community. I've been investing in nailing that for the last 5 years. I'm so proud of what I've built there and figuring out how to build it. And so that's where I've been. That's what I've been up to. And so what's next? Let's talk about what's next. You guys ready to do something glam again together? All right. So my vision for this next era, so if like I call the old era like the Denver, LA era, where I was like really deep on planning, but all of the planning stuff still was like seasonal. It was literary. It was biblical, right? So the women I serve is, this isn't everyone, but largely it's Christian women. It is, so they want to be in the Word. It's people who love books and reading, and women who also want these beautiful seasonal lives, that love to celebrate the holidays, love to create seasonal recipes and live in such a way that honors the seasons of our year and honors the seasons of our lives. And also, I love memory keeping. I guess got my start in the paper industry because in high school I worked at a scrapbook store here in town, then worked at a scrapbook store during college. I still want to open a scrapbook store. I love all things memory keeping. That has just always been like my beating heart. Whether we do that in the form of trad scrapbooking or planning, blogging, YouTube, whatever it is, I just love all things memory keeping. So if the old era was all like planning, product based, and then like the next era was all about like content and really like the backbone of like, what are we writing in our planners, right? And like, let's do some cool stuff together. This next era is going to be about bringing both of those things together. So what does it look like to bring those things together? It looks like getting my planning line and my memory keeping line rolling, and I have the team in place for that. Thank you, Lord. That's something I was waiting for, because it's a little harder to build a team in Napa versus building it in LA, where everyone is like ultra creative and does like 40 different things. So I have the team in place to show up here on YouTube, still getting the reps in, figuring out like what that rhythm is going to be, while also creating really amazing content for memberships, the members, and the live streams, of course. So have the illustrator in place, the layout artist in place for the planning side of the house, have my producer in place to create content and help me edit and help me get it up consistently, and also just being amazing and aesthetic. I am an aesthetic girly. I am such a designer. I love all things design, whether that's home design, whether that's planner design, sticker design, Bible study design. Like, I just love aesthetics. I love design. So God has blessed me with the team. He's blessed me with the go ahead to build. I am, like I said, physically and relationally stronger than I've ever been. That's a beautiful thing. Thank you. Thank you, God. But all that to say, it's not without resistance, right? And we talk a lot about like what that looks like and how we overcome it in the membership space, and help each other collapse some time so we can grow faster, we can build stronger, and we don't have one area of life undermining the other, because that is no fun. So just like recap, so I don't have specific timelines for you guys. Pray on it. I would love your prayers. Of course, I would love your support. Become a member of the Paper and Glam book club, Bible study, seasonal living. Again, after today, it's going to be all one meal deal. So go join the Paper and Glam experience. Give this video a thumbs up. You can, of course, help me through your prayers the most, watching the videos when they come out, subscribing, and also subscribing for notifications so you can give me a view as soon as it drops. That is huge for the algorithm, huge for bringing people into the Paper and Glam universe, glam world. And I'm working on just bringing it all up together with, the Lord's strength and the Lord's grace. And there's a saying that I love. I repeat it probably every single day whenever I need it, and I hope it serves you. It's that in the spirit it flows, and in the flesh it's forced. So whenever I find myself forcing something, that's not a good sign, right? Whether that's like I'm forcing, my workout, or I'm forcing, my business, or I'm forcing my relationship, whatever it is, it's like, okay, if I'm having to force this, it's not good. If I'm being led by my feelings, it's not good. If I'm being led by the Lord's peace, by the Lord's strength, then I'm in a really good place to build. So that's what we want to do overall, right? Is get in a really good place to build our health, build our wealth, build our businesses, if you're called to own a business, build our families, build our marriages, all the things. So back to Plannerland. On the content side, that's what we're doing, right? We're becoming the women we want to be. And then on the planner side, we are planning for these big, beautiful lives. We're being strategic, and we are also memory keeping. So bringing it all up together. is what I want to do. And I am in the process of designing a brand new planner. So that is the Paper and Glam lifestyle planner that leads you through growth every single month and leads you to build a holistic life. So that is, yeah, that's in the process of being designed. The next video will be more about that. Pray over the business. I'm always praying for you guys. Thank you, those of you who have believed in me from the beginning, those of you who have been members of the Paper and Glam experience from the beginning. Thank you so much for just being with me through every season, through every era. Thank you for believing in me. Your belief is what keeps me going when I do hit opposition, when I do hit resistance. So thank you for that. I hope you guys are really excited for what comes next, both in your life individually and in Paper and Glam world. I'm so excited. We just have so much to do together, and we're just really at the beginning. The best is always yet to come. So if you're in a place where you need to get your foundation right to build whatever you're looking to build, paperandglam.com. That is what gets me out of bed in the morning. And it's just all about creating products and creating content that support you in your walk to become the woman God created you to be. I don't want you to be stuck. I don't want to be stuck. Spent a lot of time stuck and not knowing how to get unstuck. And just like, there's no reason to live like that. God did not call us to live like that. There's no reason to be stuck as a daughter of God, as a woman of God. So with that, I love you guys. I hope this was helpful. I hope it was the usual pep talk that you can count on me for. And yeah, cheers to the next era. I love you guys. I'm praying for you, and I'll see you soon. God bless.